M Tobacco Warehouse, located 1723 Goldsboro Street in Wilson. You can log on to auctionzip.com for terms, to view photographs of auction items and more information. You can also call Greg Goins at 252-578-1623. This auction will be held rain or shine, and it's going to be inside of the building, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. But we'll tell you about that as well as T.G. Brooks Company, Sandline Golf Cars, and Owl Pride Foods, makers of Owl Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip. Without further ado, I would like to make welcome our guest of the day. Is Miss Jennifer Grable with the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Service. She divides her time between Person and Granville counties, and she is the family consumer science agent. I got that.
Yes, that's right. No, that's right.
I was just thinking, and
They've had different names over the years of extension. Extension's been around for 100 years.
What I was thinking about, you dividing your time between Person and Granville counties. You live in Durham County,
Yes, yeah.
and so you're just kind of a tri-county
Yes,
girl.
yeah.
We'll welcome you into the program, and Jennifer always has a lot of things going on, and she is an expert on food safety, and she's also one heck of a good cook. She has some wonderful recipes, and Jennifer has the finesse with a recipe to turn it from high fat, high calories to where it's still tasty and more healthy for you. So if you're ever wanting some good recipes, you contact Jennifer Grable at the Person or Granville County Cooperative Extension Service offices, and she'll be glad to email you some recipes. But they've got a lot of different things going on. And we'll also be talking about today about Summer Fun 2018 with 4-H. Mm-hmm. But good morning, Miss Jennifer.
Morning.
How are you today?
It's Friday. I'm good. I'm good. I wish the rain would, like come through and be done. I don't like a little bit each day for like an entire week.
Well, I came in the station just a little bit before you, but did I notice that you are towing a boat just in case if we get too much rain today?
No, I went out on the lake this past weekend, but no.
Well, they are saying, rain a pretty good chance the next few days or so, and
it's good for the hay farmers, I think, that if they've got their stuff in the ground already.
Tobacco farmers and things, I'm sure, but I'm sure it's a lot of them are wanting to continue planting.
Yeah.
But I think night before last we had about 2 inches of rain. Mm-hmm. I live down on Old Allensfield Road and was out mowing grass in the over close to the Virginia border yesterday afternoon, and out there it hadn't rained that much, but it's not going to be a complete washed out weekend. Mm-hmm. There's been several events that is canceled, but if you've got something going on outside, it may not be a bad idea to take a raincoat with you, or maybe an umbrella, just to kind of be for sure. It's something we will make mention of, as it is a chance of thunderstorms. If you are within the sound of thunder, you are in danger of being struck by lightning. So whenever it's a storm, seek shelter ASAP, and don't become a fatality. So anyway, moving right along, Jennifer, you was telling me that it's really important to eat as healthy as you can throughout, all of your life. But as we all are getting older on a day-by-day basis, as we get older, that is when we really should consider eating a more healthy, or maybe having a more healthy lifestyle, I should say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, it's important throughout your life, because, I mean, what you do when you're younger will affect your older, but we're having a huge continue to increase in diabetes and heart disease are our top two killers in this county, and both of them can be prevented. And so that's the thing. It's like, you can't do too much if you get cancer or certain things like that, but there are parts of your health that are all interlinked, and diabetes and heart disease are very closely interlinked, and you're more susceptible to developing these as you age, as well as certain races. I mean, even just African Americans are more likely to get heart disease and diabetes. It's just what the statistics show. So if you're an older, an adult, if you're it's affected by, if you're overweight or obese, it's affected by your physical activity level. So even if you're not overweight or in that category, still, if you're just sedentary, if you're not moving, you can develop certain things. And once, a lot of times, you get on medicine, I got to take cholesterol medicine and blood pressure medicine and my diabetes medicine, and I got to live on an insulin pump, or just different things like that. All of that can be prevented unless you have type 1 diabetes. That's something you're born with. But all of these things can be prevented with a healthier lifestyle, with eating better, with exercising. And people always say it's so difficult to eat healthy. It's too expensive. I'm like, well, would you rather spend your money on your food, or would you rather spend your money on your medical bills, your doctor's appointments, your prescriptions, your, whatever else, that as you get. So our Lunch and Learn, again, we do monthly Lunch and Learns. Our Lunch and Learn in May is going to be on Wednesday, May 30th, and it's on that topic. It's on healthy living as we age. So, but it's not just for older adults. I mean, it doesn't matter what age you are, you need to eat healthy. And we're going to talk about moving more. Your movement or your physical activity levels are naturally going to change as you get older, because you can't do as much as you used to, or you have balance issues and different things like that. But we'll also talk about managing chronic illnesses. So if you do have heart disease or diabetes, how you can manage those things and possibly get off of medication, or how you can control these. It's kind of like diabetes is kind of like being an alcoholic. Once you are, you always are. Even if you're not in that range anymore, or if you're sober, or just whatever, it's the same kind of thing. You're always susceptible to falling back into that range, that diabetic range. So we want to get you to where you're out of that range, where you're not having to take your medicine. You don't lose any, feet or toes because of diabetes. So we're going to talk about how you can do that. And we've had people attend our programs and have, their A1C has gone down, their blood sugar, their cholesterol, their weight, they've stopped taking medicine. I mean, just different things, results that we've seen from some of our evidence-based program that we've done. So we're just going to do a hour-long Lunch and Learn on Wednesday, May 30th at the county office building at 12. And talk about moving more, reducing the three main problems: our fat, our salt, and our sugar from our diet. And like all of our Lunch and Learns, it's $5 to attend. So we're going to serve you that healthy, delicious lunch. You can't even go to a fast food place and get a meal for $5 anymore. So it's going to be in a good calorie range. So again, the healthy diet, we give you the recipes, and we're going to give you a lot of good information too. So we've got that coming up.
Now, the only thing, you just cannot show up that day.
No.
You have to pre-register, and you have to pay your $5 in advance, and you actually have to go by the office to register, because they do not accept over the phone payments. So go ahead and get signed up, and you have until 1 week from today to get signed up for that Lunch and Learn. That will be Wednesday, May 30th. And something else, Jennifer, that you have talked about, and maybe we should touch on it, as springtime is here, although we got rain in the forecast, and warmer weather is here. But been hearing on WRAL TV5 News about all the swimming pools are getting ready to open, and I was quite surprised. I heard them say that in Wake County it's like 1,100 public swimming pools, and I was really surprised at that number. But anyway, with a lot of people attending gatherings, whether it's by the pool or at the lake or going on a picnic, now as the weather is warming up, we need to kind of remind ourselves about food safety. And food safety is something that is extremely important, and you certainly do not want to become a victim of a of foodborne illness, or maybe food that has been left out too long and it has soured or went bad, and you eat it and it makes you sick. So, what are some of the tips that you suggest for people that are going on picnics? What they should try to practice to become more diligent about food safety?
Well, a lot of times the main thing with your cookouts is the temperature of your food. So if you have food that is cold, that's refrigerated, food, then you need to keep it at that refrigerated temperature, and that's 41 degrees. So most people will use, coolers, but we all understand ice melts, and the food in there is only going to stay cold depending on how often you open and close it. So you need to have multiple coolers. You're supposed to have one cooler for just your drinks, bottled water, soft drinks, whatever. That's just your drinks. You're not going to store any of your food where you're going to store your drinks, because if you say, I'm going to take raw ground beef and we're going to go to the park and we're going to grill out at their thing, you don't want that raw ground beef to be in a cooler where you're going to have something like a bottle of water that's going to come into contact with your mouth, because you could get the E. coli from the ground beef onto the water, or it's on the ice. You don't use the same ice in your cup that you're going to put in water, you're going to put lemonade in. So you need to have different coolers. You also don't want to store your raw beef in the same cooler where you got your head of lettuce, because you're not cooking the lettuce. We've all heard about romaine lettuce lately. That's a product that you don't cook, typically when you're making a salad. So you don't want cross contamination. So you need multiple coolers to do that, but also just the temperature. You need a thermometer, whether it's in your cooler or also in your refrigerator. You mentioned earlier, it's that time of spring and thunderstorms and all that kind of stuff. People are going to lose power this time of year, and do you know how long your refrigerator is going to last? Do you know what the temperature is in that? So making sure you're properly storing your food. Once you have prepared your food, as soon as you have done prepared it and you've served it on the table, you have 1 hour. You can have your food sitting out for 1 hour, especially like in this heat, it's 1 hour. Typically it's 2 hours, but as you get into the warm summer months, it gets into that temperature danger zone much quicker. So you only can have food out 1 hour. You also need to keep it covered. Again, there are flies out there. One fly can have a billion bacteria on it, and it only takes a second for the fly to land on your food, and it has completely contaminated it. So keeping all of those, pests and insects away by having the covers on it, using tongs and different things like that, so not everybody's handling it. I mean, everybody reaches their hand in a bowl of potato chips and puts it on their plate. Have any of those people at the pool went inside and washed their hands?
Yeah.
The Germ-X helps if you don't have access to a place to wash your hands, but if you've been playing out in the water, or you've been playing out in the grass, or if you've definitely been fishing or doing any of these things, you need to wash your hands, or you need to at least have something that you're not eating finger foods. Have something you cut up and you can use utensils, so you're not touching your food and putting it in your mouth, or at least you're not contaminating other people's food.
Yeah.
So, and then when you do grill out or cook those things, making sure you also have a food thermometer to test your burgers. Did you cook them fully? I know a lot of people love rare or medium rare burgers. You can get sick from those, just like with the egg contamination, really, with the salmonella recently with the eggs. For the most part, we recommended just getting rid of them, but for the most part, if you cooked those eggs properly, you didn't eat them runny, they would be fine to eat. You're going to kill the salmonella when you cook it.
Right.
But we have a lot of people that love eating over easy, and the egg is raw, or they use those eggs when they're making brownies or cookies, and then they're eating the raw batter. So that's why we recommended everyone get rid of the eggs, because I also don't know how well you clean your kitchen, how well you clean your hands. So when you're dealing with these eggs that might be contaminated with salmonella, you need to be extra vigilant in cleaning your hands and cleaning up your kitchen and different things.
Well, it seems like every time you hear I make mention about the washing of the chicken, that is not suggested. But when you are preparing vegetables, say like lettuce, maybe if you have green peppers, tomatoes, different vegetables like that, is it suggested that they should be rinsed in water before serving?
Yes, you need to rinse off like the dust and the particles from the product. Now I've got a little,
Okay, do you need something to drink?
yeah,
All right, we'll get you something to drink.
I
Hey,
meant to get that before.
while she is waiting on a little sip of water, I'll remind everybody that our sponsors of today are T.G. Brooks Company. And you know, Memorial Day will be here, not this upcoming Monday, but a week from Monday. And maybe if you're thinking about having a cookout and want to do some ribeye steaks on the grill, whether it's for Memorial Day weekend or any weekend, get those hand-cut ribeyes from T.G. Brooks Company, where they cut to order, and some really good ribeyes there at T.G. Brooks Company. And they have a large selection of craft beers. We'll tell you more about T.G. Brooks coming up in just a minute. But right now, let's get a word on for Our Pride Foods, makers of Our Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip. Goodness grows in North Carolina. Our Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip is made in Roxborough. You can pick up some to enjoy at T.G. Brooks Company, Twins Market, Hurdle Mills Market and Butcher Shop, North Main IGA, Food Lion, Supply Line Discounts in South Boston, Virginia, Kenyon's Meat Market in Mebane, and Bacon's Meat Market in Hillsborough. Or you can enjoy it at Cole's Pharmacy, Trish's Espresso, and the Clarksville Station. Whether you're having Our Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip for a snack or a meal, it's delicious. Our Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip is made by Our Pride Foods in Roxborough. Pick up some and enjoy it today. For extra flavor, try the jalapeno added. That's Our Pride Premium Pimento Cheese Spread and Dip. Alrighty, here we are back on the Gardener's Corner program. Our guest is Miss Jennifer Grable, who is the Home Consumer Science Agent for Person and Granville Counties of the North Carolina Cooperative Extension Service. We just heard from Our Pride Foods, and in a little bit we'll tell you about Sandling Golf Cars. Then we'll tell you about T.G. Brooks Company, and we'll also share some information with you about the auction by Goings Auctioneering in CAL 390. That auction will be tomorrow in Wilson, and they'll start at 10 a.m. They've got a huge selection of zero-turn mowers, portable welders, and the list goes on. We'll tell you more information about that. You can log on to auctionzip.com or call Greg Goins at 252-578-1623. Now we're going to talk to the hydrated.
Yeah, I got my water now.
Yeah, Jennifer Grable.
Coughing fit. So yes, to answer your question, yes, you should always wash your produce. You don't need to wash it until you're ready to use it. I had somebody call me yesterday. They wanted to do something with it, and they're like, "Do I need to wash it? And then like tomorrow when I need to use it, I can just take it out." I'm like, "No, don't wash it until you're ready to use it, because it'll start breaking. The water will start breaking it down, and it'll start rotting, that much quicker. So just wash it when you're ready to use it. It's good if you have like potatoes or different things to, get like a little brush to scrub the outer stuff, because the dirt can cling on to more of that because it's a rougher outer edge. And then breaking up the lettuce so you can really get down into where it's all kind of meshed together there is really good. But again, at that point, you're washing dirt. You're washing material off of it. You're not washing bacteria. You're not going to wash viruses. You're not going to wash any cross contamination. It's not going to happen. It dies during the kill step. So that's why produce is actually the biggest thing that there's the most foodborne outbreaks with it, because you want to make sure you separate your raw, ready-to-eat foods from your raw meat. So.
Well, now, on this flyer that you have about healthy living as we age, about the lunch and learn that will be on Wednesday, May 30th, is a picture on that flyer of a beautiful apple. And I actually had one yesterday, straight out of the refrigerator. I did not peel it or anything. Is it suggested that we should wash off apples before eating them?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I just took it
Yeah.
out of the refrigerator and dug into it.
Yeah, no,
But-
and that's what a lot of people. I mean, naturally there's certain things you don't have to wash the outside, but that's mainly like bananas, because I'm not eating the peeling. I'm not
yeah.
eating the outside. If you're gonna peel the skin, but I mean, even like watermelons or cantaloupes, a lot of times we don't eat the outside part. But you have to remember, how do you get into the middle part? You take a knife and you cut it. You're cutting whatever bacteria or products or materials or dirt is on the outside, and you're cutting it all the way through that nicey fleshy fruit there. So you have to rinse it off to get all those particles. Otherwise, it could end up on the part you do eat, or it's on your hands because you're holding the banana, you're holding the watermelon or different things. But yeah, the apples we do recommend. Now, if you buy them in a bag, again, if it's like a bag of lettuce or something like a bag of apples, and it says pre-washed, you don't need to wash it again. Even the lettuce, it's good. You actually don't want to, because the more times you handle it, the more susceptible you are to getting a foodborne illness, because the lettuce is clean. It was pre-washed and then it was bagged. You were taking it out, touching it yourself, putting it in your sink where you may have washed your chicken, even though we tell you not to.
Okay.
And so you possibly are contaminating your pre-cleaned, pre-washed lettuce in this sink that could be dirty, in your hands that could be dirty, and so it's just leave it alone. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So.
And another good food safety practice to use in every meal that you prepare, use a different knife, whether you're slicing meats or slicing vegetables. Do not use the same knife. Now, if you have washed your vegetables and you sliced your vegetables up, and then you need to cut up a piece of meat, it's okay to use the knife from the vegetables to the meat. That is, if your vegetables were clean. But the no-no is, don't slice up any type of meat and then use the same knife on your vegetables unless you wash the knife. And now it may be that you might be cooking a dish that you're going to be cooking the meat and vegetables, everything together. That's not quite that bad, but you certainly don't want to, cut up a chicken and then go right from there to cut up, maybe you're going to be cooking some squash or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't want to use the same knife.
Yeah, same knife and same cutting board. You
Yeah.
need different cutting boards, or
And-
clean, wash, and rinse them.
And cross-contamination is a big culprit in a lot of things. But as Jennifer said, a good idea is to have a couple of different cutting boards. Now, Jennifer, years ago, wooden cutting boards used to be really popular, and they kind of look good sitting on the
Yeah,
kitchen
pretty,
counter. Now, what is your suggestions about wood cutting boards?
I don't necessarily recommend them. It really just depends. Most of the ones they have for sale now on the market have been kind of, sealed and protected to not cause those problems. Because what happens is you take your knife and you're cutting on the cutting board, you're nicking the cutting board. You're making little notches in the wooden cutting board over time, and bacteria and viruses and different things can get into those little cracks and crevices, and it makes it extra hard to clean. You really have to get a good brush and get in those cracks and crevices. So you have this bacteria that's sitting on your supposedly clean cutting board because it's in the grooves, and then you go, cut your lettuce up there, and it's got salmonella from the chicken on it. So if you have the older ones, years ago, your grandma gave me, they're nice and pretty. Put them on your table and use it as a table decoration setting, put a flowers or something like that, but don't use those. But the new ones nowadays, a lot of them are, again, microbial resistant, or they've been treated or sifted, so they're not going to get all those cuts and nicks. So because people have understood, we've learned we need better things. So, but all of mine are the the I don't even use glass too, because it's the same thing. You could get nicks or chips or whatever, and I don't want that in my food. So I've got all the hard white kind of rubber ones there, and I get the ones that have the grips on them. So when I'm cutting, it's not moving. Or if I do have a one that doesn't have those grips, I'll put a towel down underneath it, like a washcloth, and put my cutting board on top of
keep
it
it from slipping,
to keep
yeah.
it from slipping. Just little things like that. So.
Well, now, Jennifer, you kind of made mention a little while ago the importance of having a thermometer in your refrigerator, and it's also important to have a food thermometer, especially when you're cooking meats, to get them to a certain temperature. And typically, when you buy a meat thermometer, it has the scale on it, whether it's for beef, pork, or chicken. But something that I do want to ask, when it comes to stocking your refrigerator with groceries, is it kind of a certain way that should be done?
Yeah, you're supposed to stock your refrigerator according to the temperatures you need to cook everything. Because I don't want my food, well, give you an example. It's like you cook all your basic hot food. Like if I'm cooking veggies or basic stuff, it's 135. All those things are 135. So I put all of those ready to eat raw products, whether they're cooked or not cooked, at the top of my refrigerator. And then I work my way down based on the temperature that I need to cook them for food safety. So I got my 135 up here. Then I go down to the next shelf, and that's where I put my 145 stuff. Because if something from this 135 falls on the 145, it doesn't matter. I'm cooking this to a higher temperature. So that would be your fish and your pork and your steaks are 145. Okay, then I go to 155. That's where I'm gonna have my ground meat. Okay, my ground beef specifically is where I'm gonna have that, because you have to cook those at a higher temperature than you do your steaks, because you basically took your steak and ground it all up. So any bacteria that was on the top of the steak is now all around the middle. So you got to cook it higher. So your hamburger is supposed to be 155. Then your chicken is 165. So I don't have to worry about my salmonella or my chicken dripping on my fish, because I need to cook my food to 165 to kill salmonella. So I need that to be on the very bottom. So all your chicken, and that includes all poultry products. So duck, any of those kinds of things.
Turkey or
yeah,
anything.
any of those poultries products, any of those birds, or stuffed things. If I like stuffed lobsters, or even sometimes some of your casseroles and your lasagnas and different things, all those are 165. So again, chicken on the bottom, then your ground beef above that, then your fish and your seafood and any of those things, and then you're ready to eat kind of food. So, but again, I don't have that many shelves, so try to keep it at least separated. It's not touching, because salmonella is not going to jump from my chicken over to here on my ground beef. Okay, but I don't need it right up against each other, because I'm definitely not cooking my ground beef to 165. So I have them at least separated, even if they're on the same shelf or in the same drawer or something like that.
Well, then, Jennifer, when cooking a meal, you said a little while ago, after you prepare that meal and that food has been setting out this time of the year for 1 hour, after 1 hour you open the window wide open to bring in.
Every 20 minutes bacteria grows, like doubles.
Okay.
So 1 hour is kind of the max. Don't go any more than that, because it's going to grow exponentially with the heat.
Well, the question that I'm leading up to, a lot of people, when they prepare foods, that after they eat, the leftovers may still be, between warm and hot. And so many people say, well, I don't want to put it in the refrigerator because it may spoil. And pretty much, I guess, based what they're talking about is something that when you put it in the refrigerator, that it may cool on the outside, but the internal temperature may be, too hot, and it may cause it to sour. But now, what is your advice when putting items in the refrigerator about if they are still, pretty warm, whether it's off the stove or out of the oven?
I tend to go ahead and get it in the refrigerator as quick as I can. Yeah, that's something people have always asked. Well, you need to let it sit down and sit out and cool for a little bit. Well, how long is a little bit? You know, is kind of what I ask them, because what happens is you tend to, well, I'm just going to leave it out for 5 or 10 minutes, and then it's been 30 minutes to an hour to even longer, or you come back and, oh my God, it's been sitting out there for 3 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the stories I hear. They'll call and, is it still good? Is it okay? Is it whatever? I left it sitting out. I forgot about it. I got busy doing stuff. I went and ran errands. So I'm like, put it in your refrigerator. There is no harm whatsoever to your food or to the refrigerator if you take it off. Now, naturally, if you've got glass shelves in your refrigerator, you're not going to put the hot pan in there, because you don't want to damage the glass. So put it in a different container. You want it in a shallow, like thin container, because that will also help your food cool much quicker. Spoilage, like it doesn't really spoil. I mean, when you put it in the refrigerator, you're making it food safe. And even if you think it's spoiled or it tastes different or whatever else, food spoilage is not going to make you sick. It's a quality versus a safety thing. You don't think it tastes good, but it's not going to be what makes you run into the bathroom. What's making you run into the bathroom is because you left your food out for too long. So would you rather have to, well, the food just tastes kind of funky, You can't smell, taste, or see foodborne illnesses. So if it tastes off, that's not a foodborne illness. That's a spoilage. Like my milk rottens, your milk spoils after a certain amount. I can still drink it. It's not going to make me have a foodborne illness. It's just not going to taste good. Just like my potato chips will get stale after I keep them too long, but it's not going to make me sick. It just doesn't taste. So it's a flavor versus a food safety thing. So I'd rather be food safe and put my food up in the refrigerator as quick as I can, then forget about it, and then I have a food safety issue. And we have so many people that my stomach just didn't feel well. You may not be full blown all the other symptoms, but I just had the stomach bug, or 24-hour flu. There is no 24-hour flu. There is no 24-hour stomach bug. You had a foodborne illness. That's what it was. And we also tend to blame everyone else for that. Oh, it was that restaurant I ate at for lunch.
Yeah.
It wasn't the cookout. Most of your foodborne illnesses are at your own home, because the restaurants have so many regulations that they have to meet. And they have to go get trained, and they are inspecting all this. No one comes and inspects your home kitchen. And even the people that I train for food safety, they know what to do in their restaurant, but then I'll ask them, do you do this at your home? No, I'm a little slack at home. That's what everybody is. So most of the foodborne illnesses are at your home or in your own cookout. So get the food in the refrigerator as quick as you can so that you're not having any foodborne illnesses.
Well, Jennifer, typically, how long does it take for a person to develop the symptoms of a foodborne illness?
It depends on which illness it is. It could be immediate, or it could be up to 50 days later.
50 days later.
Yes, if you
Wow.
if you go to the health department or to your doctor and they can test you, they take a fecal sample. That's how they test to see if you have a foodborne illness, and they will test that and they can determine if you're positive for that. And depending on which one it is, toxins will hit you immediately because it's something very toxic and it'll make you get sick immediately. But hepatitis A or even other things, even the norovirus we had a couple of years ago, it can take a couple of days. A lot of times it's like 48 hours is 48 hours, but it could last up to a week, of different symptoms. But there are some hepatitis A, which I know we've had outbreaks in the state. The symptoms don't even show up for 50 days later. So when you get diagnosed, the health department's going to give you this lovely survey that asks you to write down where you ate, everything you ate for 50 days. And no one knows that.
That's
so,
right.
No, I don't know what I ate yesterday.
I was going to say, if I had to write down what I ate yesterday, I probably could. But the day before and definitely the day before
I don't remember
that,
what I wore, much less what I ate,
That's right.
so, but that's kind of, I know that's stretching it, but it could be up to that. And even things like norovirus, when we had the outbreak here, it can stay on a surface for up to 6 weeks. So if I got sick on the table and I had norovirus, y'all would really have to clean it because for 6 weeks, people could come and get sick
Wow.
from touching the table and the bacteria that's on it. So
That's something. It really
yes.
is. Look, let's get a word on for Sandling Golf Cars and Trailers. Also, Sandling Golf Cars now has flatbeds for trucks. Head on down and see them in Oxford, 613 Lewis Street, 919-693-4626, toll free 1-800-221-9267.
Are you in need of a flatbed for that truck? Sandling Golf Cars and Trailers, located 613 Lewis Street in Oxford, now has flatbeds for trucks available. They are open weekdays 8 until 5:30, Saturdays 9 until 1. Call 1-800-221-9267, or you can call Sandling Golf Cars and Trailers locally at 919-693-4626. You'll also find the full line of Wilmington grills. They have a large selection of golf cars, Club Car, E-Z-GO, and Yamaha golf cars available, new and pre-owned. If you're in need of Trojan batteries, parts, or service, shop at Sandling Golf Cars and Trailers, 613 Lewis Street in Oxford. Speaking of trailers, you'll find trailers of all kinds at Sandling Golf Cars. Call 919-693-4626 or toll free 1-800-221-9267. That's Sandling Golf Cars and Trailers.
Alrighty, here we are back on the Gardener's Corner program. Jennifer Grable is our guest today, and a couple of weeks ago, I guess maybe about 3 weeks ago, we had Michelle Van Ness, the Person County 4-H agent, and Jennifer, when she was here, she is extremely, and when I say extremely, that's putting it mildly, about how excited she is about Summer Fun 2018.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of different things offered, and if you have a youth in your family that is between 5 and not quite 18 years of age, 4-H could be a fun time for that child. They've got a lot of different programs and classes going on. One of them, if maybe some of the teenagers, I know a lot of teenage young ladies, want to start earning a little bit of money. And one good way is becoming a babysitter or taking care of young children. And they're going to be offering a safe sitter class. It will be on June 11th from 9:30 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. and it's open to ages 11 to 14, and it's a class limit of 8 participants. It's a $20 fee to take this class, but it teaches a lot of different things if you're considering becoming a babysitter. Also, they're going to be offering a kitchen chemistry class, a citizenship focus class, and just to mention a few, digging in, and the digging in will be with Nancy McCormick, who is with the Person Soil and Water Conservation District. Some of the other things going on, Gardening 101, Johnny Coley will be teaching that class. Going Horse Crazy, they're going to be traveling to Oak Hill Jumpers in Timberlake. That's going to be for ages 9 years old and up. But the list just goes on and on and on. Get wild about forestry, explore Mayo Park, Zoo Snooze, and that's when they're actually going to be staying
Spend the
overnight
night
at the zoo.
Sure.
Now that trip is for ages 7 years up until 12 years, and that's $40 per participant, but they're only going to allow 6. And so
I think we're doing that with other groups, so we're only allowed certain amount of spots.
so what I'm getting at is, for more information, get in touch with Michelle Van Ness, 336-599-1195, and she can email you the information about all the different classes of Summer Fun 2018 that is being offered. Now, Jennifer, are you going to be helping out with any of the classes?
I might be helping out with some of them, just, if they need an extra hand. My daughters are actually signed up for two of them, so I might, just step in
Join.
there to help,
Yeah.
help make sure my two are behaving. But no, she's got a lot of good workshops scheduled, so we all kind of help out as needed, fill in where we need, and the information is also available. You can go to our website, just Google Person County Cooperative Extension, or she has a Facebook page, Person County 4-H, so the flyer and all that stuff is. And this is something that you actually register for online. You do have to bring the money. We still can't take the money, but you do your registration, all the paperwork kind of stuff online. So all you have to do is bring us your check, basically, and pay for it. Now, I know a lot of the workshops are filling up, especially the ones for the younger kids.
Right.
So go ahead and get those. I think she's got registration going for at least another 2 weeks there. But
336-599-1195, or if you're on Facebook, look up Person County 4-H, or you can just Google Person County Cooperative Extension Service, and you should be able to find information. Yeah. We're going to take a trip out to 411 Helena Mariah Road, and we're going to stop in at a landmark since 1936, talking about T.G. Brooks Company. Whether you're wanting vegetable garden plants, hand-cut ribeyes, plumbing supplies, or you're just wanting to shop at a friendly business, T.G. Brooks can handle all of those things.
The beautiful month of May. So glad that May is here, and the beautiful weather here in Person County, and it's full-time lawn and garden season. Right now is the time to have fun and beautify. T.G. Brooks Company has for your garden tomato plants, all the most popular varieties of tomatoes. They have pepper plants, cantaloupe, plenty of vegetable plants too, like squash, cucumber, tomatoes, cantaloupe, also herbs, basil, chives, thyme, oregano, dill, cilantro, peppermint. They have lavender. They have your garden flowers like impatiens, begonias, beautiful marigolds, vinca, petunias, and of course hanging baskets. Get your garden seed. They're fresh and ready for planting. Reseed your lawn with clean, fresh grass seed. And they have the fertilizer and the lime. If you need mulch, man, do they have mulch. Even the triple ground mulch. Do you need straw, pine needles? How about potting soil, planting soil, or cow manure? They have spreaders. They have aerators for sale or rent. T.G. Brooks Company serves the homeowner and the commercial landscaper. They handle everybody the same courteous manner. They can arrange delivery, or you can pull in with your pickup truck, your trailer, and they'll load it up for you. They have bagged products. They'll load them up for you in your car or your van. Remember, they have Bartlett animal feeds too. It is exciting to see May and the full-time growing season. Top off your day with a hand-cut ribeye steak from T.G. Brooks Company. Hurry out to 411 Helena Mariah Road in Timberlake. Give them a call at 364-2428. T.G. Brooks Company has proudly served the homeowner, the farmer, and those in construction since way back in 1936. They welcome people from all over Person County, Rougemont, and northern Durham, and of course, southern Person County.
All righty, here we are. We're going to get a word on just a minute for Goings Auctioneering. But Jennifer, you said that you wanted to make mention about something big that is just getting ready to start in less than 10 minutes in Raleigh.
Yep.
And it's an event that you enjoy attending. Tell us more.
Yeah, it's our annual Got to Be NC Festival, And it's at the state fairgrounds. You can just, Google GotToBeNC.com, and it'll tell you all about the festival and what they've got going on there. And they've got, it's kind of like a mini state fair. They've got rides, they've got food, they've got the little pig races, they've got the pony rides, they've got the historical farm equipment, anything agriculture. It's to celebrate North Carolina agriculture. So, all the things that are grown here, whether it's our Mount Olive pickles or our cheer wine or all that kind of stuff, and just to really promote agriculture. And it's something they do every year, so you can go online and look at it, and it is free to get in to the festival, so you don't have the fee to get into the gate. It's free to get inside. You just got to pay for the food or any of the carnival rides that are there, and parking is free as well on Trinity Road. So it's a nice family festival. There is plenty of things in the different buildings. So I know the weather's kind of iffy this weekend, but you can go online and pull up the brochure, and it tells you where everything is. It has a schedule of when the pig races are going to be, or when this is going to be, and in which building everything's going to be. So hopefully you can bypass the weather and just be inside during those moments. So
Well, Jennifer, I appreciate you making mention of that. Let's get a word on for Goings Auctioneering.
Goings Auctioneering NCAL 390 announces an auction sale to be held Saturday, May 19th at 10 a.m. It's an auction for JFS and others at the Big M Tobacco Warehouse, 1723 Goldsboro Street South in Wilson. For more information, terms, and to view photographs of auction items, log on to auctionzip.com, and you can also call Greg Goings for more information at 252-578-1623. Up for auction will be a large selection of zero-turn mowers, portable welding machines, side-by-side vehicles including golf cars, antique vehicles, handmade furniture, pictures, and more. Call Greg Goings at 252-578-1623 for more information on this auction to be held Saturday, May 19th at 10 a.m. at the Big M Tobacco Warehouse, 1723 Goldsboro Street South in Wilson, formerly Liberty Warehouse. Call Greg Goings at 252-578-1623 or log on to auctionzip.com for more information.
All right, here we are. We got just less than 2 minutes left, but Jennifer, it's a couple of things that we thought we may ought to pass along to everyone. Be sure, after working out in the yard or being out in the woods, to check yourself really good for ticks, because there's so many diseases out now that are spreaded by ticks. And if you've got a young person, you need to check their hair and stuff. And if you do find a tick on you, it'd be a good idea for you to make a mental note of the day that you found the tick and keep an eye on the spot. And I know we were talking about it's a lot of people that has not able to eat beef and pork from